I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. The Supreme Court, Ketanji Brown Jackson, the first black woman nominated to the Supreme Court. You know, President Joe said he was going to do it, and he did it. Then the Republicans said, nominating a specific race of people is racist, unless that specific race of people is white. And then they don't even mention it. You know, it seems racism is a one-way street in a nicer part of town, where people make more money and there are less pawn shops. You know, we have had 115 judges on the Supreme Court. Of those, there have been 108 white dudes, 5 women, and 2 black guys. So, in the 240 years of America, it might be time for a black woman or a Native American or anyone else besides another whiny cracker.
The fact that this is not serving time in some federal penitentiary is a huge, hot, heaping pile of horse.
You know, we have no problem with sexual predators and religious enthusiasts on the court. Our last justice put on the court was Amy Coney Barrett. Barrett is the most inexperienced person nominated to the Supreme Court since Clarence Thomas, who was only 43. And he replaced the legendary Thurgood Marshall. Well, at least they traded a black guy for a black guy. Barrett had almost zero legal experience, was never a judge, never worked as a prosecutor, defense lawyer, solicitor general, or attorney general, or served as counsel to any legislative body at all. She never tried a case, or argued an appeal, or performed any pro bono work. The good news is, though, based on ACB's record, I'm qualified to be a Supreme Court justice. I have even written many more opinions. And then we have this guy, Brett Kavanaugh, a judge on the highest court accused of sexual assault. He had a bunch of weird, shady financial oddities and acted crazy at his confirmation hearing.
In ninth grade, in 1980, I drank beer with my friends. Sometimes I had too many beers. Sometimes others did.
So, of course, he was confirmed. This guy was also accused of sexual assault and acted crazy at his confirmation hearing. So, maybe it's not a racist thing. Now let's deal with Ketanji Brown Jackson. She graduated from Harvard and Harvard Law School, editor of the Harvard Law Review. Another great leader also did that. She clerked for Justice Stephen G. Breyer. She put in 8 years as a trial judge before ascending to the U.S. Court of Appeals. She was a lawyer, a prosecutor, and actually practiced law. She didn't teach it, she applied it. This woman right here, this woman has less court experience than I do. I had 13 years in divorce court. Her qualifications are she loves guns and hates abortion. Oh, but she's pure as the driven snow. This dude cried at his hearing, then inspired other white men to use that technique to also weasel out of taking responsibility, like mini-me here. We had a Supreme Court nominee talk about his excessive drinking by saying,
I liked beer. I still like beer. I liked beer. Still like beer. Drank beer. We drank beer. Throwing up. I'm known to have a weak stomach, and I always have. In fact, I got a weak stomach, whether it's with beer or... I like beer.
After that.
I like beer. I don't know if you like beer, Senator, or not. Drinking game.
It seems weird, but he's a white guy, so welcome to the court, fucker. Hell, bring squee. Jackson, by the way, has served as an assistant federal public defender, a commissioner on the U.S. Sentencing Commission, a lawyer in private practice, and on 2 top-tier federal courts for years. Her family are cops. She's a badass. Yet Senator Ted Cancun Cruz accused her of being soft on porn offenders and crime.
You argue they should be viewed as punitive and therefore unconstitutional.
Respectfully, Senator, those are not the sentiments that I expressed in my law school note.
She is from a family of police officers and teachers. Really? I love to watch the Republicans after the horror pics of the last president. I like them to watch them try to take down arguably the most qualified nominee for the Supreme Court ever. Judge Ketanji Jackson is proof that white supremacy is an oxymoron. Heavy on the moron. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. It's a lot of words in a row. Hey everybody, Christopher Titus Podcast, this week of whatever it is, 2022. Hi, with me as always is lovely Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Highlander.
What's up, people?
We switched side. I've decided I wanted to see what this feels like. I wanted to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel,
Look how wonderful I look now.
just if I call you honey, though,
I know,
please, please just go. Just do one of these. All right, honey.
This is actually my better side, so
You
I'm
don't-
happy to be here.
Oh, so it's better than
I
perfect.
forever have wanted to be on this side because when I take
Are we switching
pictures,
now?
all women have a side that we know is better. And given that today I have leprosy, on top of that, it's just meant to be that I'm only supposed to show my left
And all
side.
men know you have a side that's better, and it ain't your face. Boom,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen. Hello, zing bang.
I don't like that guy at all. That guy.
I can't
wow.
participate in this section at all.
You're recusing yourself? No, Highlander has recused himself from this section of the podcast.
I played the fifth one.
So weird, man. So I'm watching these hearings with the Ketanji Brown Jackson, and it's just insane to watch the fucking self-aggrandizing, self-centered, look at me, bitchy, lying fucks we have in Congress. And even the Democrats. I watched Cory Booker yesterday. Cory Booker did an open mic stand-up set, and it was cheesy and whiny. And he was talking about how and I know more about Cory Booker now than I knew about Ketanji Jackson, because he talked about him for an hour.
And our ancestors are surrounding you with their hands on you right now.
I pulled an
As you
iris. I
draw
rolled so
near
hard.
to your faith, our ancestors.
He was doing like Avatar or something.
It was literally the speech of the worst movie at the end of the worst movie you've ever seen.
And she just
A kid's movie.
She just did this.
And
The
I rolled back
blinky
so hard.
thing.
This iris just pulled. I can't even barely see out of this side because I was like, God, come on, dude. And then you got Hawley and Cruz, who are they're trying to make her a child pornographer. It's almost like they keep saying, well, you on these cases with child porn, you actually went under guidelines. And she was like, well, Congress set rules that depending on the circumstances, there was no hard guidelines.
So they're just trying to associate
her with child
her
porn.
with child porn.
Yes, even
So
though
that's their base is just going to say she uses child porn.
Yeah.
They're going to make that connection.
Yeah,
got it.
She's married. She's got kids. Her family are cops. She's got like 3 or 4 cops in her family, and you just want to go. What is it about this nominee? You looked over Kavanaugh.
It's not. We're almost at midterms. That's what's happening.
Well, and also I think she might. There's something different about her than
that would be
than
why
Amy Coney
they
Barrett.
interrupt her every time she
Yeah, there
goes
might
to
be.
answer
What's
a question.
different about her? Except her qualifications are 10 times better than Amy Coney Barrett's.
I take objection with a couple of things in your Armageddon update.
Okay, all
Number
right.
one, you 100% lumped religious people with
Enthusiast. I said she's a religious
enthusiast, and in the same breath, you said
What did I say? Butt munch? What did I say? I don't remember.
Sexual assaulters or child pornographers or something like that.
No, I didn't. I was
Yeah,
talking.
you did.
No.
Pull the transcript.
You
I
said
was
Ketanji Jackson is a child pornographer.
No.
That's not
you
what I said. Jesus.
Titus
You
said that.
Welcome to
said-
Fox News.
You know,
I'm
we'll
Tucker
allow. We're the
I'm
Supreme
Tucker Carlson, and I talk like this, and I go up and down for no reason, but I don't know what I'm talking about.
So you.
And then I giggle like this. The fuck is wrong with Tucker Carlson?
Well, there's a lot of.
Yeah,
things wrong
exactly.
with
So
Tucker
no, I
Carlson.
wasn't. I didn't know. I was saying that. I was talking
I
about.
also object to your your abuse of one woman, stomping on the neck of one woman to prove that another woman is qualified. I think
that-
we should lay off of.
That is not what I'm saying.
Amy Coney
I don't.
Barrett.
No, we should not lay off Amy Coney Barrett. She has no business being on the court, as neither does Brett Kavanaugh. Here's why. Has nothing to do with her being a woman. Zero. Has zero to do with it, because RBG, badass.
Right.
Badass. I mean, qualified. Sotomayor, totally qualified. In fact, every woman we've had on the court has been pretty, even the ones.
Those two. You just mentioned those two.
Even Senator
Elena
O'Connor,
Kagan.
Senator O'Connor, Kagan, who else? RGV, it's 5. That's 5. I mentioned them. Here's the problem. She's not qualified. I don't care that she's a woman. I don't care that she's a woman at all. It has nothing to do with it. If you look at her qualifications.
I just think for Ketanji Brown Jackson, we could just talk about her qualifications and not compared to anybody. She just
I wasn't comparing
is
it.
overly qualified. It's like
I disagree with what you're saying. You're saying I compared her as a woman. I'm comparing the last 2 nominees of the last president to this nominee. I don't give a shit she's a woman. I don't give a shit.
AOC. There's
You know,
many initial people.
By the way,
now.
the smartest woman I've ever met is sitting next to me right now.
KBJ,
Who's-
MTG,
who actually-
AOC,
Well, actually, I believe-
RBG. They're all
CTT,
REB.
RBT,
HYLINDER. That's
X1,
What's your middle name?
supercalifragilistic.
What's your middle name?
We're not. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Terrible.
Mine
Come
is,
on.
What is it? What's your middle name?
Francis. It's Francis.
Who was that based on some weird relative? Or they just randomly pick Francis? There's no
You
Grandpa
look more
Francis.
like a Ken Frank.
Okay.
Kenny Frank Island.
There is
I like this guy.
There is a Frank, but I'm not named after him. We're like almost the same age.
Wow.
Okay.
Francis.
Maybe I'm named immediately after
I got
him.
Todd. You can't even say it without being nasal. Christopher Todd, Titus. Todd.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth is
good.
beautiful.
That's
I like
Queen
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
I like-
Rachel Elizabeth Titus. Or before you met me, Rachel Elizabeth Bradley.
It's actually now Rachel Elizabeth Bradley Titus.
Yeah, which always helps us at
It's
the airport
really
going
helped
through
a
the
lot.
fucking passport.
I actually
We
tried
get-
to
That's why your
make.
luggage goes
Yeah.
away.
We get stopped
I
everywhere.
changed my middle name because I have separation anxiety and I don't want to get rid of my dad's name. And so I made my middle name Elizabeth Bradley and my last name Titus, and the DMV just can't get that right.
Mm-hmm.
And so they put Bradley on my last name. And so it's caused a lot of problems. But what I've decided now to go with, and it's working,
Yep.
is my last name is Bradley Titus, which is actually not true according to the paperwork, but everyone is happy with that. So that's what we've gone with.
I also don't think that's not the only reason they strip search you every time at the airport.
I'm sorry.
Also,
What I was going to say was AOC tweeted something, where I think it was Ted Cruz holding up the children's books, where he questioned her on children's books that a private school has their kids read for summer reading,
Right.
because he thought it was a gotcha moment about CRT. And AOC tweeted, when the person asking the questions is infinitely less qualified than the person who's supposed to be answering the
Yeah.
questions. And you really get that in that room. And she's really kept her cool. She's done a couple of
Oh, she's a judge too. You know damn well she is not used to sitting there like that. And I could watch her and think, this woman's holding it together. Just to be clear, I don't care that Amy Coney Barrett's a woman. I really don't. I care that she is absolutely. If it was a dude and he had those qualifications, I'd be like, dude, you should not be anywhere near the Supreme Court. Brett Kavanaugh shouldn't be anywhere near the Supreme Court. Sexual assault. I like beer. Why are we talking about alcohol during your confirmation hearing?
because Democrats were questioning him constantly and he unraveled. And I really don't think it's a great look for a judge to
right.
unravel.
They're not supposed to do that.
They're really
no
not.
matter what
And
comes at you.
And we've been in front of a lot of judges, and they don't. It's the only unraveling that you might say was unraveling, which is still very well contained, is anger, seething.
In fact, the best judge we ever had was Michelle Court, and that woman, I've never seen, so every white dude we had, except for the last guy, but even women, our first judge was a female judge, and she was nutty.
She used to
She
sit
was
on
nutty.
the bench and pick at her fingernails, and when he would speak, she'd go,
Wow, like
roll her
visibly.
eyes. Yeah. Oh,
my
yeah.
God.
She couldn't
Wow.
stand
Yeah,
him.
it was like being with my ex-wife, actually.
Were they like friends? Were they like?
I don't know. She was just.
We've
Do you
always
believe
wondered-
him?
I think I was real stressed at that time. And I think I was like, hit it. It was like I was doing a constant Armageddon update. Just not. It was like, imagine being with me all the time, always doing Armageddon update.
That's a great point.
And then she about it.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
And so
I felt that deeply.
So I would talk really way too fast because I was getting accused of horrible stuff. She was not good. The second judge we had was
Uhas, right?
Uhas was good.
But then he was gone. We had him like twice, and we were
couldn't
like,
wait to
"Oh,
get
thank
out of
God!" And then he was gone.
And then we got this like a Schaller who was horrible.
They get promoted or elected somewhere else.
And everybody,
or-
I think the family court is where they send judges
Yeah.
to be.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
by the way, you got to do some.
That's their doing time.
Hard
Yeah, it is.
labor.
Yeah.
So the good ones are gone really fast
Mm-hmm.
because like Michelle Court got promoted. We met people later that knew her and they were like, "Oh yeah, she got."
And sometimes you'd bring up Michelle Court to other people, and they'd be like, "Oh, she's so good." Like
Yeah.
you could tell she's on her way up. But she was awesome.
She used to do this which is what Ketanji Brown Jackson has been doing a lot.
Yeah.
So
That's where they learn the robes.
When his ex would speak, that's what she would do, the fast blink and and you'd think, oh, maybe she's on my side, and then the ex would finish speaking and she'd go, okay then, well, I'm gonna order that spousal support stops today.
Judge condescending.
And Ray and I'm like on the desk just trying to not flip the table, like woo. And
because you should have gotten a job. You can't expect. State of California is really trying to make both parties independent of one another, and you wouldn't want to be tied to him for the rest of your life. Court is adjourned. And we were like,
and then
what
my ex
just
would start
happened?
grabbing papers and go, wait, there's a thing. I have a thing. And she's like, court is adjourned. And she starts like juggling paper. Remember that she would do that?
She always juggled papers, and she always had everything. I have it at home. Shuffle, shuffle,
Everything
shuffle,
was at
shuffle.
home, yeah.
It's at home. I can bring it. Shuffle, shuffle. I
Everything
have
that
it.
proved that I shot her 5 times in our last fight is at home.
That was her move.
Yeah.
Because I think some of the sleazy judge, I think they would see her, the little lady panicking, I have it somewhere. And so then they'd feel sorry for her and give her, whatever,
We'll see you
more
guys in 2
time
weeks. Yeah,
or whatever. Yeah. But Michelle Court, I mean, you think about what she had to go through to get to where she was, so much extra than we would have to go
than a
through.
white male. We're seeing it again. A black woman's going to bust
Same
her
thing,
ass.
yeah. And so you do see a difference in perspective and demeanor towards people who try less.
So people keep saying that critical race theory isn't a thing. Okay, we're seeing it unfold right now. Amy Coney Barrett had zero. She had zero experience. If you look at what she's done, she's never tried a case.
But that doesn't have anything to do with race.
And then you've got it does. Then Brett Kavanaugh, she got accepted to the.
No, it's Donald Trump. I
It's
mean,
true,
that's
but
an exception.
I'm
to
just
the
saying
rule.
that Brett Kavanaugh kind of breezes through, and he cried on the bench. I don't want a judge that's going to burst into tears during his hearing. And then you get this black woman who's beyond qualified. It's insane. She's already been on Obama appointed her to the circuit court at in 2010. She's been a decade as the court below the Supreme Court.
She's been in Senate confirmation hearings already.
That's another thing too. Is all these guys who confirmed her
Lindsey
twice
Brown.
before.
Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Brown was the girl that put her finger in my cake in 4th grade. Sorry.
It never goes away. By the way.
It'll never stop.
And so they've already confirmed her twice. And now they're up her butt because she's going to the Supreme Court. And it's really weird. You get the Republicans have planned this for a long time. They realize that if we can get enough judges on the court, we can shape the legislation for the rest of for as long as for the next 50 years.
What I really hate about it is that on both sides, that these hearings have become a reality show that I never watched them before, and now they're on all day, and there's all this. I mean, Lindsey Graham today lost his shite about child pornography and trying to do a gotcha thing, and is yelling over her and won't let her speak. And it was somebody was talking about decorum. What happened to decorum?
Right.
But same with Kavanaugh, Democrats just, it was just like, it's everybody is contributing to this new sort of reality show BS.
Can I ask you something though? And this is you and I have been going back and forth about this in a bit, and we've had some grumpy moments. When you have a guy like Kavanaugh who has a valid sexual assault case, when you have a guy like Kavanaugh who's got there's $1.2 million that wow, did you get that shit paid off,
They
dude?
didn't even really touch on that. But
Yeah.
His golf-
what happened to all
his
that?
house, his golf course
all his
All those bills were paid?
Yeah, all of a sudden,
$1 million.
and so all that was taken care of, and then he talks about drinking all the time, and I think he had a DI or whatever he had.
No.
But they had evidence that he was a douchebag. They don't have any evidence that she's a douchebag.
In college, they were talking about him drinking. Now, the sexual assault
I know.
allegation, that's a whole other
And I will say
ballgame.
this, and let me agree with you on this. Listen, if you did some shit in college, pretty much, after
Except
college,
for sexual assault.
but if you drank in college,
Yeah.
and you weren't violent and you didn't sexually assault anybody, which you did. So they had valid stuff to bitch at Kavanaugh about. They don't have anything with Ketanji Jackson.
They're not going after her personally at all because there's nothing.
Right, they're making it up. They're entirely making it up. And they said that all the judges all the judges. They went countrywide. Trump appointed judges, Republican appointed judges. She is well within the sentencing guidelines.
They wrote
everybody.
a letter, like 200 judges of both parties wrote a letter and submitted it to the committee today, saying that she's very consistent with all other judges across the country in her manner of sentencing.
What is it about white people, white men specifically, that hate to see anybody of color rise up? It seems like that. It's
well,
on the
I
right.
think that is a
and a woman too. God, a woman and color. Wow, white men are like, whoa.
I know, but that's a generalization too, because there's a lot of white men that are probably yelling at their phone or however they're listening to this right now.
A Republican white man. There was another guy that came out yesterday and said, one of the senators came out, you can look it up. He said, a state should have the right to decide whether mixed marriage is legal. Interracial marriage is legal.
Well, Ben Sass, I thought, did a great job of talking to her and of saying
yesterday.
And of saying,
2022.
I'm not a judge, and that's not my area of expertise.
Yeah.
But he wanted to talk about the credibility of the court, and they were saying how, it was a good interaction he had. I mean, I don't think all white men, and I think that's part of the problem and why people are getting mad now, is they think that liberals are generalizing all white men as bad.
I'm not saying I'm a white man. I'm saying that it seems
I'm
like
saying those specific white men.
Those specific.
Mitch McConnell,
it seems like the
Lindsey Graham.
Republicans in Congress, the white Republicans in Congress, really cannot stand that this black woman
Except for
is
Adam
rising up.
Kinzinger and
Kinzinger?
Ben Sass.
Kinzinger, maybe.
But
they
yeah,
still
like
vote against it.
Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell, Jim Jordan, Matt Gaetz. I mean, all of that whole crew, even Marjorie Taylor Greene.
It just seems like, when did racism has roared back? Racism is going up the charts with a bullet right now.
Well, if you ask black people, which we have,
It's not any different.
Under Trump. Well, no, it never went away, but certainly our friends said that it felt like Trump called them out of hiding and said it's okay. And so it definitely, like Mahogany was saying a few weeks ago, it's definitely more blatant now, whereas used to it was there, they knew it was there, but people at least knew they needed to.
It's a little hidden.
Well, it does seem like there's a little bit of like trying to get at the character of why. It seems like it's a bit of ego and narcissism.
Oh, well, that's what again with Cory Booker.
Of anyone other than somebody that looks like me, is able to achieve this and do this. And
fear of losing what you have. There's Trump is continuing that campaign of fear mongering about, what did he say? Black people were going to get the vaccine shot before any white people. They were going to put white people to the end of the line.
Yeah, he said that at rally. Yeah.
It's just fear mongering. So people are like, wait, what? They're going to come and take our homes and what we own and our land and the only reason they're scared is because they did that to them.
You can't take my pickup truck because I haven't paid it off yet. But
as I said, Janine said a few weeks ago, I've never hung out with any of my black friends or family who have said, I can't wait to get equality so that we can oppress some white people. They just want equality. Just treat us normally. Knock it off.
That's a white male thing to do, though, is to, it's not just... yes, I think fear is part of it, like someone else has taken something, but it's also they're going past that of like, I'm going to take your land, I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to take your people, and I'm going to own everything. And it's like there's something that drives that ego to maniacal
like
levels.
What Putin is doing right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
That.
But why are we? But what I don't get is this: like we all know history. We all, I mean, see, some of us are aware of it. It doesn't work. It never works. All it does is create animosity, horror, and then we end up we eventually, as Martin Luther King said, justice. The universe bends toward justice. But why don't we just stop and just fucking all right, we're all cool. There is and can I say this? Congress is old as fuck. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Could we get some people?
Chuck Grassley is 88, and
gonna
he
run
has
again.
announced he's going to run for another 6-year term.
Pelosi. Dianne Feinstein. Guys, do you hate your grandkids this much?
Yeah.
Do you really? I mean, God.
And your wives.
And your
husbands.
And how much money do you need? Like, what do you, power is the drug. Mm-hmm. But then again, if you look at Putin, though, I say it's not the drug because Putin Now, I guess it is power. He wants more power. He just wants more power. It's
Grandma
ugly.
Jean is texting me. She wants to know where you put the book for the TV because she can't get the remote to work.
Change the batteries, Grandma.
Right now,
Yeah.
Like just now during the podcast.
Where is these?
Ask Chris where he put the book for this TV. I need to see how this remote works.
The remote for the book? Oh,
Where'd you
Grandma.
put the book for the TV? Did you throw it away?
No.
Grandma, we were at her house
I think it's in one of the drawers
not
in the
very
kitchen.
long ago, and Grandma said she needed a different TV because she couldn't plug in her DVD player. And I heard him start to try and discuss streaming services with her, and I was just like, nope,
She stopped me. She
already
was
been
like-
there, already done this. Just save
She
your
just
breath.
looks at me, shakes her head, and does one of these.
But then you still went, but Grandma, you just click on Netflix, and I just went, nope, I've tried and tried and tried.
No, you did it because you knew damn well you were going to get a lot of phone calls.
That too.
You're going to be tech support.
Well, I did get a phone call about this remote yesterday, but so he disappeared and went to Best Buy and got her a TV with an HDMI so that she can watch all of her DVDs. What a guy.
I just, no, well,
a good
again,
grandson.
I'm trying to save myself time and effort.
Or me.
You're being proactive.
There's
and-
going to be a lot more down the road if I don't.
What value is my time? Let's see. It's,
How much money is it going to? How much is it going to go buy her a new TV? Then it will be for the next 3, 4, 5 months. Telling her how to operate the TV she currently has. Well, you got to go to the switcher.
It's so weird to me that we are a country that was literally formed on the backs of slavery, of people who were enslaved and building the country for 400 years.
Yep.
And that people now, the right-wing talking point, which has been said to me by my family members, is there is no racism. And yet we're talking about a 1969 integration decision, within some of our lifetimes,
Yep.
your lifetime,
Yep.
just yours, I think. But within the lifetime of people
Yep.
sitting
Yep.
here.
Yep.
So it's that recent and no racism. And it made me think of it because of Grandma. Grandma sometimes will say things and I yell at her, and boy, do I do check her, and she's always I don't mean it that way. But it is an ingrained idea
But that's what I was
in
saying
this
about-
country, CRT. That's what CRT is.
That's what I was saying
Yeah.
is that you can see it with these old white men talking to this black woman right now, and there is zero respect, and this woman is accomplished, and there's zero respect, and they're just sitting there, and they're being like you said, Lindsey Graham, by the way, who's just
He is protesting quite a bit about pornography.
he's a slave owner is what he is.
Child pornography
But I'm just saying, and people
specifically.
go, "Oh, you guys are always saying everybody's right." He said that today. He goes, he said, Lindsey Graham has so many cell phones. He goes, we are always called racist, but we ain't worried about it because we're used to it. Really, you're used to being called racist. Maybe
Okay.
you should stop being racist then.
So to give you a perspective, Lindsey Graham was born in 1955 in South Carolina, which would have been one of the holdouts.
they still had slavery.
Wait, he was only born in 55?
Yeah, he's
I got to run.
66.
I should run
wait.
for Congress.
So Lindsey Graham
gonna say, like, in the
was
20s.
in high school when they started trying to integrate schools.
So he's got locked in his brain.
He was in high school. Who he was Mitch McConnell was 27 years old. He had graduated from law school, gone through college, law school, and was already working when they started integration.
Didn't South Carolina just categorize lynching as a hate crime like a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, in 2022.
Yeah, okay.
So wait, this is what I'm saying about Congress being old as fuck. So we have all these guys that were used to they're in their formative years were 100% like racism's great, segregation, woohoo, black
is how
people
it should be.
Yeah, move out of the way, black people. They that's how they should be. So during their formative years, that was locked in. Then we have my kids who were born when Obama was president. And they're like, president. There's zero, like they don't have it. They don't even. It doesn't even connect to them that it was different. They're like, no, there was a black president. They're used to it. Their favorite artists are, are the black artists. They've seen. They got what's his face. Who's the guy? This astrologist guy.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
deGrasse Tyson. They've got all these, Medea, which, God, what are those are horrible movies no matter what color you are.
No.
But I'm just going to say that my kids, and so when I see Congress holding on to these ideas that were formed, that literally end of, let's call it, segregation, slavery, Jim Crow, they were alive and they had learned their lives were, this is how it is. Yeah. And to be dragging it into the 2020 is fucking insane to me. It's, dude.
So I'm looking at this because it was originally the Brown v. Board that was supposed to start desegregation. Obviously, the South held out for a long time, which culminated in, Martin Luther King marching and fighting it. Also, John Lewis.
Yep.
But the civil rights movement is listed as going from 1954 to 1969 in an attempt to abolish institutional racial segregation, discrimination, and disenfranchisement. So maybe not 1969 for Lindsey Graham. I'm curious when South Carolina finally did it, because I'm looking at, it's really interesting. Like it started was supposed to start in 1955, I believe.
When was Kinzinger born? Adam Kinzinger.
He's pretty young.
He's pretty young. That's what I'm thinking. If you look at, we have of course, then you got Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert. They're just as racist.
But you've got Alabama, who finally let the first black person in 1963 after a 3-year court battle. So me saying 1969 was not correct.
What do you mean?
Into the University of Alabama. So 8 years later, after a Supreme Court decision, and then they fought it for 3 years in court, and they finally admitted Autherine Lucy to the University of Alabama.
Here's what
and she got mobbed when she first went to school and had to be driven by officials to her next class at another building while being bombarded with rotten eggs. White people are so nice.
But it doesn't work. We know through history this doesn't work. Any kind of racism or any kind of separation. The Jews in World War II. It's like you just go. What? You guys know this fucking shit doesn't work.
Hold on.
But to your point,
then the university suspended Lucy, citing her own protection, because she was being followed around everywhere and harassed and threatened by students. And so they suspended her for her own protection.
Wow, what a nice... Wow, so there's always a new angle. That's awesome.
Then she had to sue them. So what I'm saying is there's still some areas in the South that aren't really desegregated. Where my grandmother lives, where I'm from, people there will still say that's the black area. Yeah. We heard that when we were there, and I was like, don't you ever say that again.
But there is a truth in it though. But that's critical race theory, or if cracker responsibility theory, and that's the thing, is that everybody thinks that it's going to make kids feel bad. No, it's called history. You're not going to hate the Japanese kid by learning about Pearl Harbor.
Good, feel bad. That's okay. What's wrong with feeling bad? Well, you can feel.
I think they feel responsible. You don't have to be responsible. You should get that it's wrong.
Exactly.
That's part of what teaching is.
But I learned about race, about slavery in school, and I don't ever remember thinking that I did it.
Right. Exactly.
I always thought, whoa, people were a-holes.
But that's because. Well, again, the orange fat guy really got everybody to talk about, to open up again. He brought white supremacy back to life.
It just feels like a little bit too much protesting to me, because again, I never thought, oh, I'm bad. I'm white and I'm horrible. I always thought they were bad. The people that did that, those people that we learned about that passed laws. I never thought that I was
There's also this new thing that they're talking about kids in school. They keep talking about how, and Marsha Blackburn, by the way, could she get a hairstylist? Jesus. For a woman that's...
You're like the people that leave reviews or send me emails.
She's horrible. By the way, here's the thing.
Thank you for your comments.
I never start talking about someone's looks until they're a fucking horrible human being. And then I'm like...
Then it's open season.
Yeah, as with me. If I'm a horrible human being, you can make fun of me. I'll my giant head. In fact, I'll probably beat you to it, honestly.
Probably.
But they're talking about how she was saying that we believe that children need to have, the parents need to decide what your parents learn. No, what your kids learn. No, that's not, no. The only way we will become better as a society is if we all learn an agreed upon thing together. We learn about our history, real history. And I'm not saying make it up. I'm not saying indoctrinate people. I'm saying here's the real history. We come with a curriculum we all agree on. And then if we all learn it together, that's how we have a united country.
Why not just teach what happened?
There you go. That's that could be history. We call that, don't we?
Right.
Yeah. We should tell, but it doesn't. But it's like these parents. They keep saying parents should know exactly what their kids are learning. Well, my dad did. First of all, didn't give a shit. Second of all,
but I mean,
what that happened when? Oh wow, I didn't know that.
It's just history. So if we just teach what happened, except now everything is not black and white anymore. The truth is not the truth. History is no longer history.
Right.
William Barr said it depends on who writes it. Oh. And that was like
he stole that quote too. He stole that quote.
This episode brought to you by Liquid IV.
Yay!
Liquid IV.
When you're having a long conversation with your friends and you get really dry because you keep talking about racism and history and how the current government is still kind of racist, have a Liquid IV.
Liquid IV is so hugely important right now during allergy season for me.
Yeah.
I have the worst headaches, and then I have one of those, and it goes away. I don't know why. I guess I just get more I don't know. But happy to report that I got an email yesterday that grape is back temporarily.
Oh, no.
Pear is not.
Pear is not. Pear. Come on.
Prince party. Let's go.
I know.
Oh, we should put tubes of Liquid IV out in a cup.
We could do for a Prince party. We have to do. Maybe we could do it in May. We should do gift bags. Liquid IV definitely in gift bags. Do you know what I got?
That's genius.
Liquid IV for me is a lifesaver, but also I've been fasting. I'm trying to lose weight, so I've been doing this intermittent fasting, and it's 40 calories, and which I know probably breaks a fast, but I get to drink a whole bottle of water. Liquid IV, it tastes like something, and for some reason it does an extra. It's only 40 calories, so I'm not sure if I'm probably breaking my fast. Though.
It has 5 essential vitamins, B3, 5, 6, 12, and vitamin C, 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks, and it's made with premium ingredients, so it's non-GMO and doesn't have gluten or dairy or any of that crap. So you got to try it. If you haven't tried it, it's like, I don't know what it is.
It's a game changer.
And it's a game changer. In our household, it is a game changer. Yeah. So grab Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code Titus at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order from their website when you use promo code Titus at liquidiv.com. Experience better hydration today. Liquidiv.com, promo code Titus. I got the multi-pack and then used the 25% off of the bundle price, and it's pretty awesome.
I've never seen anybody work the internet like you do. If you ever need to fly anywhere, don't book it. Talk to Ray. Ray.
Sometimes.
Most of the
travel
time.
agent.
Yeah.
I will say this: most of the time, you find a way. Whether you're buying shoes, plane flights, cars, Liquid IV.
I'm a weasel.
I was getting. I was
you
getting
can
something.
Call me the Weeze.
What was I doing? I was doing something. I was ordering something, and you were
T-shirts.
like, "Stop!"
Yeah, because you'll just
goes, like, promo
go
code.
pay full price. He doesn't even look for a code or anything.
She saved me like 25% off on what I was buying.
This is the end result of you switching meat packet prices, right? This is the
that's right.
This
When
is
you were
the
an
adult
extension of this.
weasel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The adult version of you
That
walking.
was probably maybe theft.
Yeah,
most likely.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is
you
just
paid something for
working the system. The only person
Right, I
who
think that's a
might
loophole.
possibly be better at it than I am is Jen McMahon Ward.
Really?
She's good. I told her she has to stop sending me places to shop. She's out of control, and I can't look at it anymore.
But she's so joyous to be
She
around.
just texted me a picture of a new bag she got.
Oh my god!
Do you want the link? That's what she just said. No, I don't.
Stop it!
Stop. I don't need it.
We should talk about what's going on in Ukraine right now. So I guess we're giving Ukraine $800 million worth of weapons, and
So 0.3% of our own military budget.
exactly.
Here's a little.
$800 million. Yeah. I dropped something. You can have it. Hey, I dropped something out the
Give me a couple jets. Here you go.
Basically, hey, Ukraine, table scraps, whatever. Well, I mean, that we're doing anything, and then I guess the Russian army is stopped. They're done. They said that they weren't ready for this. They weren't ready. They weren't supplied. They weren't closed right.
Launching rocket
Well, they
today or
thought,
something.
yes, no, they're still launching rockets, but they're doing it from afar, and they got kicked out of a couple. They pushed them back. The Ukrainians pushed them back out of a couple of neighborhoods, and now they're giving reports that some of the Russian soldiers have frostbite because they weren't given cold weather gear because they thought they were going to roll in and have apartments.
Trucks, body trucks.
Today there was a reporter from Ukraine did a report in front of a refrigerated truck.
I just said all those words out of order.
Stacked with
trucks,
Russian
body trucks, refrigerated
truck,
is what
body
I just
truck,
said.
body truck.
Then I added refrigerated.
So they actually had 300. One truck had 360 something Russian bodies in it. The other one had 420 Russian bodies in it. And I thought, as the guys interviewing doing the piece on the news, I'm like, that means they're like cordwood in there. Like they got 300 bodies stacked up. They're not laid out on the floor nicely. They're stacked.
They Jenga'd them.
Yeah.
They Jenga
They're trying
them.
to keep
They
warm.
put 'em in
Don't Vladimir Kapink. Ah, the corners in Ukraine are playing giant corpse Jenga. Wow, this just got. I think that's one of the darkest things we've ever seen.
1, 2,
Frostbite
3.
pieces just broke off.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's how you do bodies. I've been there before.
Oh my God, Russian corpse Jenga.
Speaking of bodies, this episode is brought to you by Fitbod. Fitbod you've been using.
If you don't want to end up in a refrigerator truck, work out. You'll live longer.
I work out.
Helped me a lot on the road. I don't have weights. I can't go out to the gyms when I'm on the road because of COVID. Because it's still not over yet. And so I've been using this, and there's been a couple days where I did all body weight, leg stuff, this and that, decline push-ups. And I did exactly what they said. And I woke up the next day a little sore. Day 2, it was like holy shite sore. It's really good.
It helps you make fitness a habit.
Yep.
And we certainly, being friends with Tony Horton, who is now 63.
Yep.
Or 63 or 4, and is in that grade of shape and well-being and health. And so you really see versus some other 60-somethings that we know what a difference that makes in your quality of life. I like this company because on their talking points, it says, no 6 week plans, no shortcuts, no bullshit. it's in there. I like
bullshit's
these
actually
people.
in the talking points.
Yes,
That's awesome.
We love these people.
I like it because there's a graphic on you get your app, there's a graphic on it showing you, making sure you're doing it right. It gives you can set up your set. So if you do your first set and it gives you get to set your set. They don't say do 10 of these. They're like, okay, they'll give you a number and then you do your first
it's
set.
all tailored to you based on your goals and what you have available.
But then you change it. Then you change it, and then you can keep track of. So let's say your last set you can't pull 15, but you do 9. Then you have to fill that in, and it gives you a real accurate. I really like it. I have it on my phone. I use it all the time. I like it.
So again, you can say what equipment you have, what experience you have, and then they have videos that you can go and watch if you don't know how to do a workout. I mean, a exercise or whatever. So, which I think is awesome. And you can do it from home or a hotel room, which we do. So build your fitness habit and become a better version of yourself with Fitbod. Get 25% off your subscription or try out the app for free when you sign up now at fitbod.me/Titus. That's 25% off your subscription when you sign up today at fitbod.me/Titus. You can integrate it with your Apple Watch, smartwatch, Apple Health, all those.
I like the Apple Watch thing. I like it. I use it all the time. I get so many calories I burn. It keeps my timer. I like that. I'm stoked about the Apple Watch. I love it. Thank you for that, by the way.
You're welcome. It helps you not. It builds on the day before, and that's what I love about it. So you're not overworking one muscle. It's like it's a whole body plan.
Can you bring up some news about Ukraine? Because so what's going on is we're actually hauling ass equipment right there. Now, if Putin thought that our sanctions were a declaration of war,
They were announcing new sanctions today.
yeah, they're going to actually take that yacht. Did you see that?
But they're sanctioning all the lower government officials now, and I think. Is that gonna? He doesn't care about those people.
This could
No,
go-
but you get enough of those guys together. Go, hey, we got to kill this guy. Hey, that's what I think. They're not doing it to piss Putin off. They're doing it because eventually these guys are going to go like, what's the problem here? What has caused all this? What guy? Oh, hey, we should go that guy and go kill that guy.
Did I read it right that he just replaced 1,000 of his staffers because he's afraid of getting poisoned? Or maybe he's just always afraid of getting poisoned.
Yeah, no, he sits at the table. He's literally sitting at the end of a runway. These tables that he's sitting at right now are like quarter mile long. Yeah. Everybody's at that end. But I'm like, what are you going to stop a bullet? Is the bullet going to run out of steam? That's how long the tables are. But I mean, I just
In February, due to fears of being poisoned, have replaced over 1,000 personal staff over fears they would poison him. At the same time, he gave all of these other staff members an idea.
I got a question. How
Take a break.
shitty of a boss are you that you're like, you guys are gonna all poison me?
You're gonna kill me.
Nah. Be like me walking in and go, Ken, you hand me a Coke. I'm like, I'm not drinking that. Yeah, I made you coffee, Titus. No, you fucking didn't. Like how? What asshole must you be that you needed to go, you need to clear you fired the whole company and had 1,000 new guys, which seems to me not the best idea, because at least the devil you know. Yeah. Now you're hiring another 1,000 guys. Yeah, we love you. We think you're great. You know what I mean?
I don't know if that convinces him that he's doing the right thing in the world. That's just might be. No, it's a power thing, and he will think somebody else wants to take my power, so I cannot let that happen.
So
Biden, by the way, is headed to Europe right now because he's going to a NATO meeting. But also, they announced today that we were sending 1,000 more troops for NATO troops.
We currently have 16,000. I heard today we have 16,000 troops. There's 16,000 more troops. 16,000 troops currently in NATO countries right on the border now, which is more than we've had since like the Cold War. And we have to stop. I'm watching it, and what he's doing now is he's cutting across the bottom of Ukraine to connect to Crimea, which will cut Ukraine off from the sea, which means their ports, their deliveries. They're gonna have to have everything come through Poland. I don't want to say this because again, I'm a comedian. It seems to me that we're in this war. If we're sending $800 million worth of equipment, and we're sending.
That's not accurate, because Ukraine borders the sea in areas other than just...
Yeah, but if they get Odessa, they're pretty much, if they go all the way to Odessa, they haven't got this much more.
Oh, you think they're going to get everything along that border?
Yes, they're going to. That's what they're trying to do. They're actually starting. Okay. Yeah, and they got ships in the water right now, where ships go. They have ships in the water as opposed to the land ships.
They're ships that take the ships on the air.
The flying ships, not using so many this time.
They drop the ships on the land and then take the...
I heard me. Shut up.
They also brought Navalny into court yesterday before he got out and tried him on some other stuff and sentenced him to 9 more years.
Yeah, Navalny was supposed to get out yesterday, and they brought him in and said, yeah, he did some other shit too, and 9 more years in prison.
As he walked out, they're like, and here's the next 9.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's never getting out. He didn't look well. By the way, if the world is getting you down and you need some therapy, like I had last weekend.
You are really bad at this today. I guess there's only Nightmare to talk about.
How do you know I'm bad at it? You cut me off. You don't even know what it is.
Speaking of child pornography.
No. We're talking about war, and then she goes into what?
If you need it's very true. If you need a happy place, a therapeutic, calm, healing, happy place like I had last weekend, this episode brought to you by Sunday.
Oh man, can I talk about this? Okay, so I go on the road. We got our Sunday order that we get when the beginning of spring, which is starting in February now.
So they ship it to you. You go sign up. They evaluate your soil, blah blah blah. So, and then they just send you the things that you need and say, "Here, broken, fix it. Do this.
Yeah, fix it, break it, fix it."
So I just plug the thing into the hose and do it, and then.
So our lawn over the 2 weeks of winter that we got had gotten a little lumpy, and there was like brown. And I come home from the road. I'm gone 4 days doing comedy. And Bombshell has basically used the Sunday on the lawn, and it's bright green again. I walked in the backyard. I was like, "Holy crap! What did you do?" It's just the Sunday stuff, and it was designed. It's stunning to me that they picture your house, then they do it. Then you send them a soil sample. Then they actually break down your soil. And then they give you here's all the nutrients your specific soil needs, and then it's worked every time. We've had it 2 years now almost,
and it's all natural ingredients, so it's fine for your pets or your kids. They use things like seaweed, iron, molasses, so it's natural crap that's not going to kill you.
Do you know what I love about having the products we have on this show is that we don't I'm very particular about it. If I always hate advertising, and I don't like, and every product that we have. We use all the time. I love it.
I was out in the lawn, in the yard, doing stuff like Snow White, you know.
And then, except we have predators, owls, and coyotes.
And then
There's no
villain animals that come land on her.
we have a new addition to the family, Orenthal the orange tree.
Yep.
He's right
Orenthal.
next to Prudence,
OJ.
the peach tree. You can call
You
him
got it.
OJ.
Not everybody gets it.
I told a couple of people, I was like, meet the newest member
Why'd
of
you
the
name
family.
him
And I
It's
was
not Simpson, though.
Yeah, you know.
Orenthal,
But he's a
I
killer.
don't get that. Why is that a stupid name? So Orenthal the orange tree. He's gonna grow oranges this year. So super
He's
stoked
tiny.
about that.
He's going to go.
I know, but so is Prudence, and she grew peaches. I'm just saying.
Ray
Go out
names
in
her
your yard
trees,
and
by the
get
way.
therapy.
She's basically naming her trees. But anyway, Sunday, I remember my dad being frustrated all the time. He would buy different kinds of stuff from like Home Depot or whatever, and it would
Guess.
work. He was he's throwing the dart, just throwing a dart.
Sunday helps you grow a beautiful lawn
Yep.
without the guesswork or the harsh chemicals.
Yep.
So they're offering listeners 20% off. Full season plans start at just $129. That's what we have. And you can get 25% off of that at checkout when you visit getsunday.com/Titus20. That's 20% off your custom plan at getsunday.com/Titus20.
I just got how blessed we are to be able to go. Yeah, man, a company sends us stuff for our yard so we can maintain our yard.
It's fun.
Yeah, in Highland Sister. Yeah, fuckers. Yeah, enjoy that.
I like that grass.
Okay.
Speaking of that, man, you live in an apartment. I don't think it's weird. We're watching war on television like it's just normal. I guess we've since 9/11 and Syria and Somalia. We've seen it in Iraq and Iran. We've seen it our whole life. But I was watching the stuff in Ukraine, and I kept thinking, imagine I've lived in apartments, you know, and imagine all of a sudden you're just in your fucking apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, and it just takes out half the apartment building. And they were showing part of Ukraine, and some of the, and they've taken these beautiful, like it was a nice area, and it's just devastated now and over.
What's the point in having it if he had
That's
to
what I could-
destroy it to get it?
Because I think what they set up, you got to remember, Putin could have done this. You got to remember, Obama and Putin was in the G8. He could have been like this. I think they're right. When something has happened to Putin, whether it's mentally or he's sick and he said, fuck it, I don't give a shit. What, are you going to kill me? I'm already on my way to dying. Something has happened because this dude could have been doing this whole time. And why he waited till Ukraine got good, and the Ukraine fighters are kicking ass. They're kicking the Russians' asses. They have the third of the military, if even less.
Well, the
And
Kremlin is also hiding the death toll. They're saying it's like in the hundreds, and it's estimated now at 15,000.
yeah, 15 to 17,000. I heard.
Kids that he sent over there, and
And the thing is, eventually, you can tell the Russian public what you want, but eventually those families are gonna be like, where's Ivan?
So they're losing.
I was waiting. I was like, I saw you think I've already used Vladimir. I gotta go.
I hate that you know me
You
that
can
well.
see it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I hate that you know. You know.
Ivan. I was like, oh, what's he gonna say? You pause. Ivan.
So, and that's what's gonna.
What are you gonna use next time?
So all these families, Yuri, all these families are going to. Where's my son? Now I thought, where's my son? What?
Where's your son, Igor?
What's your son's name?
Thank you. Okay. Yeah,
What's your
Igor. Yeah, Willie. Is that better?
Is that short or something?
No, a Russian name Willie.
Okay.
They call him Willie though. His name is Willie.
What was your neighbor's name?
My neighbor's name.
The guy that killed people and went into the medical business, the medical parts business or something. Your
Boris.
old neighbor.
My old neighbor. Where?
The guy that had like the Bugatti and all the different cars all the time in front of his house.
He's one of those Russian
Sergey,
dudes.
is that a...
Yeah, but he was like he had cool Russian guy. His entire crew was Russian guys, and his name was Hello, I'm Mike. No, you're not fucking Mike,
Right,
bro.
right.
You're one of those guys that came over and picked like the most.
Just took
That's
the
like
first
the
letter.
nail salon.
This is Henry. No, that's not fucking Henry. Why does he have a gun? Those guys were scary, man. That dude.
There's 5 Jennies at my nail salon.
Yeah, exactly. That dude was the scariest dude because he was so nice and calm, and he always whatever. I'd read about a car in Road and Track. This car's coming out in 2023, and he'd have it.
He has it already.
How the fuck did you get that car?
He's got the
I know,
prototype.
guy. This is a friend of mine has. So one day, I'm in front of that. I may have told the story before. I think I did. I was in front of. He bought this double lot across from the house that I bought when we had Titus, and it was massive, and it was all marble and everything. One day, I hear. And all these Saline S7, McLaren, the flip up Mercedes pulls up, and then a Corvette pulls up, the newest Corvette pulls up, ZR1, and all these guys get out, and they're all dressed to the nines, wearing long leather coats, and I'm like, oh shit, and they're all Russian guys. I'm like, oh.
His name was Ali Gark.
yeah, Ollie, Mr. Gark. He demanded. So. And I was like, and I go, wow. I don't want to go to that meeting. And he goes, oh, right. We're all Russian mobsters. And I said, I didn't say that. And I walked in my house. I did not. I said, I don't want to go to that meeting. That's all I said. You said, we're not Russian mobsters. I'm going to leave now. And I turned and I hightailed it.
Hightailed it.
Yeah, I hightailed. I was like, nope. Yeah. One day he had cops jumped his fence.
Oh.
And it was weird. It was a mistaken identity thing. They had guns and stuff. And
I don't know about mistaken.
That's what he said.
No.
Oh, right.
Mistaken.
Yeah. I think we need to end it. So Putin supposedly has this giant yacht. I read a big article about it. So there's this giant yacht. It's the biggest yacht in the world, supposedly.
2 helipads.
2 helipads. He's got a helipad on the back and the front of the yacht.
I don't
quite to go to
it's
the
like
front of the back of the yacht.
That's why. Hey, that's about.
You know what it is? It looks like a cruise ship.
I'm going to fly to the front now.
It's a cruise ship. It has floors.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's a cruise ship. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the size of a cruise ship.
So they said that it has no owner. Well, there was some
They
people.
just can't see him. He's
How much
tiny.
is it worth?
$700 million. So there is, which is that's an insane amount of money.
One of his boats.
Right. So there was some Russian journalists who did research into it, and they went and they found the boat and they interviewed the crew. Well, the crew was all FSB, the Russian Secret Service. So all the crew is Russian Secret Service. Who are, and there's a special group that's specifically for Putin. They all work the boat.
Right.
So they're like, we think this is Putin's boat.
Federal Security Service.
Yeah, this is not
previously known as FSK. Federal
This is not
Counterintelligence.
Putin's boat. But it says VP right on the seats. It's sewed into the thing. Yeah, that is Vincent
Price.
Yes, Vincent Price. He's old. He died a long time ago. Yes, but he left a lot of money.
The FSB is one of the successors of the KGB.
So all the crew of that boat is those guys.
KGB.
Yeah, they're all part of it.
Derivatives,
They have to be because they have to be vetted because Putin is so paranoid. If I don't want a job. Listen, I don't care how powerful. I don't want a job where I'm worried about everybody who works for me about to kill me. I've seen it in your eyes. You want to once in a while during the middle of a production. You're like, fuck, I'm going to stab you in the face. And I see it from her all the time. But you guys aren't going to do it. You think it. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and she's standing over me. And she's got a knife and she's like
and a noose.
She's like banana
and
slices.
A chainsaw. And a
I'm just
hammer.
saying that, imagine living in a world where you were such an asshole that all you did was worry about who was trying to kill you. I mean, what's the point? Why be here? What are you doing? He already had $200 billion. Why do you need to go blow?
That probably pumps up his ego too. That's a
My
power
experience with narcissists is, because I have close experience with one.
Me too.
Is that they always expect other people to do what they would do to those people. Always.
Yeah.
And even when you're just
true.
trying to be nice, and that there is a little bit of paranoia, and that it's always everyone else's fault. It's not his fault that that bad stuff is happening. It's because of them. They did that and this and.
Well, that's what he's telling everybody in Russia. He's basically saying that the Nazis of Ukraine, which has got a Jewish president whose brothers and part of family was killed by the Nazis. But okay, so the Nazis of Ukraine attacked Russia. And that's why they had to go in to liberate a country that's already free.
I would bet you.
Oh, I'm just happy that we don't have that only America isn't full of fucking stupid people.
Yeah, I would bet you
That's their weapons of mass destruction, like bullshit line.
Yeah.
I would bet you that he's saying if they would have just surrendered, if they would have just
I wouldn't
not
have to
fought
kill anybody.
back. It's not our fault that they fought back. It's this twisted reasoning. It's like your ex saying repeatedly, you filed for divorce.
Oh, that was weird.
But you
were sleeping with 2 other dudes.
And you stole all the money.
But you started this. You filed for divorce.
No, you did.
No, but I had to go. There was a couple $100,000 disappeared. What are you
LAPD forgery. Remember?
Yeah.
No?
There's a whole list of shit you did.
You filed for divorce. And that was her response to him saying how horrible this was for the kids. Can we please just stop this? Basically, you got what you deserve.
You set this
started
I set it into motion.
But that's what that's how narcissists view things. And nothing's ever going to be his fault. Donald Trump never thinks anything is his fault.
Right.
What do you think's going to happen World War wise? I think
It could go either way. It's either he keeps escalating, and the only way to really escalate, because he's losing on the ground.
Yeah, no, he's got to
drop
tactical. He's going to drop tactical. That's right. Or they keep saying
we're going to meet or
well, the problem is Biden's been very straightforward about stuff. He said, "Hey, they're attacking." Remember, he kept going on TV going, "Hey, they're going to attack Ukraine." And I remember listening to MSNBC. And by the way, this is where liberals drive me nuts too. They're like, "Oh, there's no way. Putin would be stupid. He doesn't even understand what it would do to his legacy and his country. There's no way." I kept hearing that, and then Biden would go on and go, "Hey, he's gonna attack. I'm telling you, he's gonna attack." Now they're saying he's going to use chemical weapons. That's next. Yeah. They're going to use chemical weapons because Putin's getting his ass handed to him. And the one thing that Russian people don't like in a leader is someone who loses.
There's that ego coming.
Yeah. So it's so funny, man. The entire world has, and this is Ray brings this up once in a while, the entire world has been destroyed at times 100% because of male ego. The male ego is the most fucked up thing.
It's even just watching them out there fighting.
But if you want to come see me perform,
it's like what my brother did in our backyard when we were little. Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah.
Now he really does that for a living.
Problem is the horrors of it, man. They were showing that them dropping people into ditches, and then yesterday they showed a battle. And the problem with disinformation now is it's harder to. You have to spin it because it doesn't even have time. They don't report on it. I already have video on my Twitter from them 15 guys getting killed before the news picks it up. I saw it live as the dude uploaded it from the battlefield in Ukraine. What world do we live in right now? And here's the weirdest thing: we have that tech, and yet we're still doing the same dumb shit we did when we were cavemen. I don't get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're not evolving.
I bet ego served us during the caveman days, right?
That kind of
helped survival. So it was that got passed down because it helped, and now it's just gone awry, right? It's just the natural extension of just ego gone crazy with.
It's just
it's society advancing and progressing and saying, hey, we need all colors and genders to be in power because it would better represent all of us, because look at us, we're all different. White people are gonna go extinct soon. And
we're only 10% of the world. We're only 10% of the
scares
world.
the crap out of them. And so
but as I say in my new show, no one's gonna give a shit anyway. Hate all you want, but you're gonna be dead and no one's gonna care. What are you doing? Why aren't you just enjoying your life?
And you can come see that upbeat show
it is an upbeat
Irvine
show.
This
it
weekend.
Really is.
Irvine, 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, 1 show Sunday.
Yep. And
next weekend, go to his website because we have a whole Michigan run. It's going to be Muskegon. Is that how you say that?
Yep.
And then Traverse City, and then Grand Rapids, our favorite theater, the Wealthy Theater. So go check those out.
And one more thing, people, we have moved the show. It is the taping of Zero Side Effects. We have moved it from April
9th.
Sorry, April 9th to May 7th. Yeah. April 9th to May 7th. I had something happen with the movie we were doing, so we had to move it. So it will now be May 7th, same place. We're going to update everything today.
I'll email everybody that got tickets for the live stream part of it already, but just so you guys know, for May 7th now,
May 7th. And
you'll be able to purchase live stream tickets. If you can't get here and be there in person, you can watch him do the first show live, and you're going to get a lot of backstage pre-show, him getting ready, fun stuff.
We went today, and they've got this. So they got a giant, babe. The video wall is crazy, and him and I walked in like this.
Yeah.
By the way, I was like, oh, my brain started to go. So we've already had a talk where I went, hey man, I go, we have to be careful of this because we both got
We're both doing the
Yeah,
same
now
thing.
that
We're
you
putting the
have time.
Mandalorian back behind there.
it's gonna be a play, and then I'll do this, and I'm gonna act as myself. And
This is what both of you do.
Yeah, but then we stopped. He came upstairs to the office.
Because
and I
now
went,
we have extra time. We should pack way more shit into that.
That's what
I told him, hey, I've written the show. We know the show. That's the spice. We can't make that the show, or else the show's
Right.
going to suck. They told us that a guy had come in and done a show where he'd used all the video tech and he had dancers and live music, and they had like these orbs coming at you, and then they had like giant pyramids coming at you, and the theater guy, wasn't it?
Jay.
Jay just goes, he goes, people walked out like, I can't. Some guy, he goes, I walked in front of the theater. There was a guy with his hands over his ears, just shaking his head like he couldn't.
People died.
They created epileptics.
Epilepsy,
They
yeah.
created it. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I had a couple more things I want to talk about, but we're going to move on today.
Fun fact.
Fun fact. Oh, and now it's time for Highlanders Fun Fact.
Oh, I like that new spin.
I'll tell you. It's time for Highlanders Fun Facts. Here we go. Highlander. He's still forming the words in his mouth.
I want to do it in that voice. You're more likely to get a computer virus from visiting religious sites than porn sites.
Interesting.
See, now you said it. Isn't that interesting?
Interesting.
Wait. Wait, so if you go to the Wailing Wall, what happened? My phone doesn't work anymore. I'm getting all these pictures of Jesus.
SouthernBaptist.com.
I feel like there's a lot of people who run the religious sites are probably doing a
mixing
little
it, yeah.
childy something.
No, it's a virus though. So why would that be?
Why would you get him? Maybe because I have a theory.
Uh-oh.
Maybe because it's easier because of like
'Cause
porn
the
sites.
devil.
Well, because porn, because porn sites, those guys get paid a shitload of money to build the site.
And to protect it.
And protect
Yeah.
it. So then you got a church organization they gave it to the guys. You know, he's a missionary.
It's on AOL
He's like, I downloaded Wix.
Josiah.
The entire exactly.
Josiah
McAfee
Beefus
on
is-
there.
So they're building their websites out of just like nothing. They're using,
Right.
I'm using DOS.
They're using faith. They're using just.
So there's not a whole lot of firewall. Who would have to go?
You're probably right.
Who would go after a church? So people have learned that if I
It's
put the virus
vulnerable.
in the church thing, that makes sense.
You're probably right.
I figure stuff out. I'm like, here's what happened.
Monk. Here's what happened.
All right. So people, do not open your computer near a church.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, by the way,
Unless you're looking at porn.
it's not just fun facts. We're actually helpful. We're
Yeah.
helping the community.
Right. These are public service announcements, so you can really
Guys,
surf the web safely.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Please do me a favor. Subscribe on YouTube at Christopher Titus TV. Also follow us on Twitter at Titus Nation and Instagram. Same thing at Titus Nation, or follow Ray Bradley at
Yep. Instagram, Twitter.
at Ray Bradley.
Yep.
And the Highlander.
The Highlander, everywhere.
Yeah, please go to Apple
TheWillingBureau.com.
Go to iTunes.
Check out the new album.
Apple
iTunes and
Music.
get Misanthroptics.
The live album just came out. They were recorded right over there.
Yep.
Yeah, in
Now
the studio.
available.
Now available.
Go get it. Highlander needs money. All right, guys. For myself, the lovely bombshell Ray and the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
There can be only one. I don't know where to look.
It's out of order. I know.